Motion, how you?
You alright?
Trying to hold it together. Could use a little help.
What would you like?
Maybe cereal and nutriment.
That's it? You don't want Chinese food, nothing else?
It's a little heavy.
You can get whatever you want.
Yeah, a cereal and nutriment would be good. A cereal and nutriment, maybe $2-3 to get through the day. I'll be okay.
Yeah? Alright, where you want the cereal at?
Right here.
Come on.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah.
How are you today?
Good. Why you just want cereal though?
Because a lot of times when you don't get to eat normally at a regular regimen, your stomach starts to shrink.
Right.
So people will know that you're hungry and they'll bless you with a platter, but 3 spoons fill your space. And then you can't really eat the other food, so you're carrying it.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory be unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Makar Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace, salutations, and blessings be unto the hopeful elect, pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the globe, in the sincere hopes of being delivered in these last days. This is the brother Yakanan from the GMS England branch. And, as you just seen in that very short clip in which this lesson is going to be inspired from, you had this, this homeless man who I perceive, to definitely be, an Israelite man based upon, his spirit and the way he conducted himself in that video. He was approached by one of these, these content creators. It's a very popular thing nowadays to be a content creator and, publicize and, record, your good deeds, that you're doing for people, which really, that's not a good thing to do, all right? Because when we go to Matthew, the 6th chapter, it tells us that we're not to sound a trumpet, when we're performing alms, all right? Because that is, what the hypocrites do. You're supposed to do things, in secret, and the Lord will reward you, in the open, roughly paraphrasing 2 different scriptures, all right? So that's not actually a good thing to do, but that just shows you, the vibration, of this kingdom, of this world is totally off, all right? Because that is a very, popular thing in this kingdom, is to do, so-called good deeds and put it on video, and at the same time they're earning money off of, posting them videos online, via, platforms like TikTok and YouTube, so on and so forth. But, that's not the main point of this video. The main point of this video is the fact that, upon watching that clip, the first thing that came to my mind, is daily bread. All right? And as you heard, the man in the video say, he was offered, Chinese food, but he rejected it. He said it was too heavy, and he went on to explain that, when you don't have, access to a meal on a regular basis, your stomach shrinks, all right, which is true, and, when you fast, or when you're in a fasted state, your stomach does shrink, all right, and when we take part in the Day of Atonement, all right, when we afflict ourselves, during that time, and then you want to break that fast, at the end of the 24 hours, you don't, start off with, a 3-course meal, so to speak, all right? You don't jump in and start, eating heavy meat, so on and so forth. You break it, usually we break it with fruit, watermelon or something of that nature, because your stomach shrinks. All right, so he was explaining, that process, and that's why he rejected, the Chinese, and he opted for, I think he said, a cereal and nourishment. He said something to that effect, which, I gather that's, a light meal, okay? So I thought that was very, very heavy, in relation to the mindset that we should definitely, be in this faith, is desiring daily bread, okay? And and being content, with what we do have, okay? Because we're really not in a time to desire, plentiful things, all right? We're in a time where things are about to turn up, upon the earth, and life is about to get dramatically more challenging, okay? And because of that, this is the right spirit to be in. Daily bread, all right? Because that's what Yahweh Hashem Yahushua provides us with in this truth, is daily bread. He gives us just enough to survive. He gives us just enough so we can sustain ourselves, okay? Nourish ourselves, really, so we can perform the duty of this work, okay? Because as it's written in Romans chapter 12, let's get it right quick before I get Matthew 6. Let's get Romans chapter 12 and verse 1. And it reads, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yahweh, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto Yahweh, which is your reasonable service. Okay? So we are, living sacrifices unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. All right? So the only reason that we are on this earth, being hopeful men of the elect, is actually to glorify the names of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and to preach this word. Okay? That's why we're here. All right? That's our main purpose for being upon the earth, is to preach this word. So the Lord gives us our daily bread to sustain us, so we have the ability to do those things that we're put on the earth to do. Okay? Anything else is just extra. All right? Anything else, outside of that is extra. Our main purpose is preaching the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. And the Lord, gives us the ability to do that by giving us our daily bread and giving us just enough, to get by. All right? We're not in a time of desiring more, than that. Okay? Because anything else, that we're going to get is going to be in the kingdom of heaven. Okay? As it's written, in my Father's house are many mansions. That's the time when we're going to be really, living, and enjoying ourselves and really finding out what life is all about. Because right now, this ain't the time, to be experiencing, how can I put it? This ain't the time to be experiencing a joyful life. Okay, as the scriptures tell us, we are yet this day in our captivity. Okay? But we're in the spirit of hastening to be loose. As it's written, the captive exile hastening to be loose. Yeah, we're hastening to be loose, so we can actually, go into the kingdom and actually know what enjoying life is. But right now, we're in a time of suffering, and we're in a time of desiring, daily bread, man. All right? So, you know what? Let me read verse 2, because this is edifying. And it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right? So it's really about the will of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. What did Yahweh Shai always say when he was on the scene? All right? He always said, he came to do the will of his Father, not his own will. All right? He came to fulfill the will of his Father, his Heavenly Father, Yahweh. All right? That's why Yahweh Shai, came on the scene, and he made that very clear. So that's our job too. Our job is to fulfill the will of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. All right? Not our own will. All right? We're here, on a spiritual mission, all right, to preach this word and to exalt the names of Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, all right? So again, and be not conformed to this world. So we don't want to be conformed to this world, all right? All the other, characters that you have on earth, they can do what they do, all right? They have their own purpose. They have their own lot upon the earth. But we know what our lot is, and that's to preach the word and to represent the right-hand side, all right? Now, let's go back to Matthew chapter 6, and we'll read the Lord's Prayer, all right? Now, this is Matthew chapter 6, and we'll start from verse 8. Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth. You know what? Yeah, we'll start from verse 8. Get straight to the point. Matthew chapter 6 and verse 8. Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. All right, so the Lord knows, what we need before we even ask and request, for what we need, via prayer. Okay, the Lord already knows. That's why he's able, to provide us with that daily bread, all right, and sustain us, during our time in this kingdom. The Lord already knows, man. All right, and if you pray to the Lord for something and it's not, granted unto you, in that moment, in that period, okay, then that's not of the Lord's will for that specific time. Okay, but as spiritual man, you will be asking for spiritual things. You would be asking for daily bread, and you would be asking, to be increased in more wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, of this truth, of this thing of ours. So it says, be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of before ye ask him. After this manner, therefore, pray ye, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Now, this is the point. Give us this day our daily bread, all right? And in the NLT, it says, give us today the food we need, And that's really, the lifestyle, that we should be desiring, while we're here, is that the Lord sustains us and gives us the ability, to sustain ourselves while we are preaching this word and on our spiritual mission. Okay, like I said, anything, other than that, is a bonus, is additional. But, some brothers, will have more. And there is times where, I'm going to have more, or sometimes you have less. All right, I know how to be abound and to be abase. Okay, that's why these things are written. That's why the scriptures say in, Romans 15:3, the things that are written aforetime were written for our learning. Sometimes, you might have a little bit of an abundance for a hot minute, and then another time, you're next to broke. But all the time, you've always got your, your daily bread. Okay, the Lord always sustains us, man, through the Spirit. And it says, give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. All right? So that's what I really wanted to get, in this video. Lord willing, it was edifying. And until the next time, I'll say shalom.